There are three internal senses that are big deals in children's development. And so the first one is the vestibular sense. And so this is controlled by the fluid in the inner ear, and it tells the body where it is in relation to the earth. If that's off, everything's off because that helps our bodies balance. And so in newborn babies, their vestibular sense is fairly well developed, but not totally developed. And so this is one reason that when trying to calm a crying baby, that rocking them and swaying with them calms them down is because the fluid moves back and forth and it's calming to them. And so an example of the vestibular sense in action is in a roller coaster. And so like even when you close your eyes, you know if you're upside down or if you're dropping or if you're just twisting. And so a description, so what could it look like in the behavior of children? So you have some children who just have to spin all the time, or the child who has to have a turn on the swings at recess. And then like at home, and so that could be like at school. And so at home, you have a kid who hangs upside down off the couch with their head dangling off the couch and they're watching TV or they're reading a book or they're playing on some type of gaming device. And so swings, trampolines, and like jungle gyms can help with this because that gives them a lot of movement. The swings swinging back and forth, trampolines jumping up and down, doing flips and whatnot. And then jungle gyms, you can just hang upside down all day long. And so the second sense is the proprioception sense. And so this is the sense that registers the amount of pressure when the body is being touched. And so research confirms that gentle, firm muscle pressure is calming and organizing to the brain and body, which is why as adults, we like to go get a massage and things like that. And so what would it look like behaviorally in a child? And so this is the kid who's constantly bumping into the walls or bumping into furniture because that puts that type of pressure in a specific spot, and so that would calm that child down. Or that need is filled. And so then you have the kid who plays too rough, or the kid who falls out of a chair or off of things a lot. And so what can help? There are things called wobble seats, and those engage the core for like deep muscle input. Running helps, and jumping rope would help, and then doing like wall push-ups or chair push-ups help with that as well. And so the third sense is the tactile sense, and so this is touch. And so this is the first sense that's developed in utero, and it's fully functioning at birth. And so touch is the way that infants connect with others from the very beginning of life, and it continues on through life. And so what could it look like behaviorally? You have two different types of children in this area. So you have sensory seeking kids who they run hands along the wall. They're constantly touching things and constantly touching people around them. They're just super touchy-feely. And then you have sensory avoidant. And so they can't tolerate tags in clothing, their seams in their socks. They can't tolerate like putting on lotion. There's a kid that I've worked with that if his shoe comes off just a little bit, he has a meltdown. And that's the first thing that we learned to look for is if he's having a breakdown, is his shoe messed up? And then, so what can help with this? You have sensory bins that you can have that have either squishy things and soft things and different type of textures in the box. Tagless clothing, which thankfully a lot of clothes have now gone tagless because those tags can get annoying anyway. And then another thing that can help is just people and adults and caregivers, whether it's parents, foster parents, therapists, teachers, preschool workers, whoever is like with the child, is just being compassionate and understanding. Texture can be a big deal, and it's frustrating to the kids because sometimes they don't have the words to be able to express that their tag hurts or that their seams in their clothes are itchy, and it bothers them. And so just the caregivers and the adults being compassionate and understanding is a big deal as well.